guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Abisola Olu-Ojo and I film about faith, family and lifestyle as a Nigerian mom living in Australia. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. So good to have you here. Please make sure to subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you all so much for your support thus far. I really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. In today's video, I want to share with you all how I got my first job in Australia as a Nigerian immigrant. I will be very open. I will give you all the details because I know it will help somebody out there. It would inspire, inform, and educate you. So if you're interested, please keep watching. So guys, I will jump straight to the point. I moved here with my family slightly over 4 years ago as permanent residents. While I was in Nigeria, I had little or no working experience because I was running my own business, and my own business was making cakes and decorating cakes for a living, which was, doing really well back in Nigeria at the time. So when we came here, I had no job, obviously. I told my little African community that I made cakes, and thankfully I got a few cake orders from friends, from the church, and people who just knew me. But that was not enough to sustain me because I was only getting cake orders, say, once a week, sometimes once a fortnight, sometimes once a month. I could not rely on that, obviously. So yes, we had saved up some money back in Nigeria, which was helping us get by every day, but we could not rely on that, obviously. Otherwise, we would definitely run out, yeah? And we didn't come to the country as tourists. We came to live in the country. And we didn't come to count the number of kangaroos in Australia. So we had to find a reasonable source of income. And I'm not one to just sit down and rely on my husband's income. I like to do something for myself. And this is how my search for a job started. Now, before I go ahead, I'd like to establish why I'm sharing these stories here on YouTube. Not for the fun of it, but because I know that everybody has a story to tell. When it comes to your life as an immigrant, not everybody has it easy. It can be a huge struggle for so many people where you have to do things you never thought you would do, where you apply for jobs, you don't get responses. It can be discouraging sometimes. So I'm here sharing with you that you're not the only one experiencing what you have experienced. It will pass. It will pass. So just trust the process. Keep doing the best you can, and things will definitely get better. Okay, if you're a student and you're having to work while you pay for your fees, it's a process. It won't last forever. So keep giving it your very best and things will turn around. So this is me just sharing my story to encourage people out there. Okay, so let's jump right back into how I got my first job. So guys, like I said, I had no work experience. I was getting cake orders and they were not coming in as often as I would like. So here I am thinking, I know how to make very pretty cakes and I have very fantastic cake recipes. So why can't I apply to get a job in a bakery? So I applied to several bakeries hoping to get a job as a cake decorator or as a baking assistant or whatever job I can find in a bakery. So I think that I applied to about 7-8 bakeries at the time and only one called me back. And when I got that call, I was super excited about it. Super excited, I was so pumped. Like, wow, I'm going to work in a bakery in Australia. So I remember that day so well. I drove for about 30 minutes to the bakery, small bakery owned by an elderly couple. And they were Italians, I believe. So when I got there, they said to me, okay, we'll give you a try. We'll give you 2 cakes to decorate. They were already baked. We'll give you 2 cakes to decorate and we want to see how well you can decorate them. And if we are pleased, we would retain you and give you a job as a cake decorator. I'm like, yeah, why not? I'm so sure of myself. Mama decorate. Oh, my beautiful. So that's me speaking Yoruba. I was confident that I would make a really lovely cake that they would be happy with. So they gave me 2 cakes. And in my opinion, even till now, I think I did a pretty good job. Yeah, if I do say so myself. So I made these 2 cakes and I told them, okay, come and see. These are the cakes I made. And the lady didn't seem, she seemed happy. She said, oh, good, well done, well done. I'm like, oh yeah. So I went back home telling my husband that I think I'll get the job. I showed him the pictures of the cakes I made. And he's like, oh yeah, they look pretty good. So I'm like, oh yes, I'm going to get the job. The next day, they did not call me. The next day after the next day, they did not call me. I'm like, oh, what's going on now? I thought they'll call me. I thought they were happy with what I did. But nobody called me. So I picked up the phone and I called the bakery. Nobody picked my call. And then I got a credit alert paying me for the job I had done that day. And that was when I knew they were never going to call me back. So to be honest, I was very disappointed. I was really looking forward to the experience of working in a bakery in Australia, but yeah, that didn't happen. So back to making cakes every once in a while for the African community, but it wasn't enough, like I said earlier. And then I had friends and, friends from church, friends from everywhere, just suggesting that I go and study nursing. It's not for everybody, guys. It's not for everybody. No, I cannot be a nurse, So I knew that there was no way I was going to study nursing, guys. It's not for everybody. So I just, shoved that aside. I wasn't going to do nursing. Even if I had to, go to school and study, I know I would do that and come out successful and get a job if I had to. But I knew that I would be miserable. It's not something that I ever picture myself doing. So there were other recommendations around doing a short course in support work, which is where you are a support worker for the elderly and those with disabilities, and that one you are required to study for about 3 months. So many people just came suggesting, do this, you can do this and you'll get a job, and understandably so, because the healthcare sector is quite lucrative in most developed countries. So the likelihood of getting a job right after you study a short course in healthcare as a support worker is very high. You will most likely get a job really quickly. I fought with the idea. I did not want to work in any healthcare related job. I just kept pushing the ideas aside. But truth be told, I think we had spent about 5-6 months in the country at the time, and I still had no job. And I'm not one to just sit down and not do anything. I want to have like several streams of income if possible. And here I didn't have any consistent stream of income. So I got really uncomfortable with that. So I'm like, you know what, I'll give this a go. Let's see what happens. So I get myself enrolled in the training center. For 3 months, I did the course and I enjoyed learning everything, learning how to support people, first aid skills, all of that, healthcare related knowledge I gained in about 3 months. And when you finish the course for 3 months, you then get sent to a facility where you put into practice what you have learned in 3 months. And that one you do for about 8 weeks, and it is unpaid, guys. So it's like doing your IT in Nigeria, if you know what I mean, where you study for a while and then they send you to the field to put into practice what you've been trained to do. So I did that for about 8 weeks, and I had like first-hand experience what the job would be like. And in that 8 weeks of my internship, unpaid internship, being able to support those people was very rewarding. I like being able to help people, but in that moment during my training, my work placement, I knew that I would not enjoy the job. I knew that I wasn't going to enjoy doing that ever. I knew it, And that's not to say that my colleagues were not nice or it wasn't a nice facility. It was really nice and everybody was respectful, but I did not enjoy doing the job. Being able to help was rewarding, but nah, I didn't enjoy it. Yeah. So, but I had come this far, so I had to get a job, right? That was the entire plan. So I had come this far and I had to secure a job. So I started sending out my resume, saying that I had finished my training and I was ready to get a job. So after just a few applications, guys, I think in less than 2 months, to be honest, I got a job. And my first job was with an agency. And what that means is that an agency sends you to facilities that need extra staff to help them with the job. So that would require you driving from facility to facility based on where your services are required. So I did that for about 11 months. And in those 11 months, I will come back every single day miserable. I did not like it at all, but I did what I had to do. And in that period, guys, It was paying the bills. To be honest, healthcare is lucrative. You will find a job really quickly, but it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Not everybody is graced enough to work in any healthcare related job. Now I know dear friends and family who still have these jobs and enjoy doing it. They enjoy being a nurse, they enjoy working for the elderly, they enjoy just being in healthcare, and that is not me. So anyway, I did it for about 12 months and I did not enjoy doing it at all. But I did my job well. I put in my best. I was working the hours. I was making the money. I was paying my bills. I was supporting my family. And just because working in an agency can be quite stressful, as you're required to travel around, drive around different facilities from time to time, that was overwhelming for me. So I started applying again to get a different job. And this one, the other job I got was thanks to a dear friend of mine. I don't know if he's watching now, but thanks to him, I got another job which was in a facility. So I wasn't having to travel around different places anymore. I was put in a facility to support those with disabilities, and I enjoyed this one much more. So the moment I got the second job, I quit the first job that was an agency job. So I quit that and I was so happy to get it over with because I did not like it one bit. Okay. So this other job was at a center. I wasn't driving around, but it was still the same job, but mostly with people who were quite independent. So I was just prompting and supporting them where I could. It was less stressful. There was less manual labor and all of that. So I did that for another, I think 7 months. And yeah, so that's that. That's how I got my first job. I had to do a quick training, and because it was healthcare related, I got the job really quickly. And for the period I worked in healthcare, it supported me and my family, it paid my bills, and yeah, that's it. So every time I put on a story here on YouTube, I like to draw the lessons from every story I tell here on YouTube. So first lesson is, do not despise beginnings. Do not despise small beginnings, rather. Do not despise small beginnings. You're on a journey, and every circumstance or situation is not going to last forever. So if you relocate or if you migrate to a different country as a student, as a family person, or whatever kind of visa you have, you may have to start out from, well, let me say afresh, not from the bottom. You may have to start afresh, and that is absolutely fine. Don't despise that period. Don't grumble, don't complain, don't be cranky. Be full of joy, and just at the back of your mind, know that it's not going to last forever. It's only a process. It's only a phase of your life. Don't despise that small beginning, because there is light at the end of every tunnel. There is light. So stay in there and don't despise that small beginning. Whatever that small beginning is for you, don't despise it. Next lesson is, be diligent. The word of God says, whatever your hands find to do, do it well. Do it well. I would not say that because I did not like the job I had, that I would be shoddy with it, or be like a desical, or not do it well, or not give it my best. If I was doing any of that, I would be putting people's life at risk, which is a no-no. Whatever you are doing now, if you're working in a factory, if you're working in healthcare, if you're studying to be a nurse just so you can make money, whatever you are doing right now, even if it is not where you want to be, do it to the best of your ability. Put in your very best. Show up and give your very best every single time. The period I worked in healthcare, I got good feedback from my managers every time in both jobs, and that was because I made sure to give it my best. I wasn't going to be shoddy about anything, and that paid off for me really well. I gave it my best. Third lesson from my story is the fact that nothing is impossible. Your dreams are valid. Your dreams are valid. Whatever aspirations you have. I mean, the only reason why you migrate, even as a student or as a family person on whatever kind of visa, is because you're in search of greener pastures, right? You want things to get better, yeah? And then you have dreams, you have things you hope to achieve, things you hope to accomplish while you are in a different country, while you're living abroad. So those dreams are valid. Don't think that because you're having to work as a cleaner or work as a factory person or whatever job you think is beneath you, don't think that your dreams are no longer valid. Don't think that that is where you would be forever. Like I said, see it like it's just a phase in your life. See it like it's just a process and it won't last forever. So don't give up on your dreams. Keep dreaming, keep working hard, and know that nothing is impossible. Whatever you hope to achieve, you will still be able to achieve. Please bear that in mind, guys. Yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. So I really want to hear what you have to say. What have your experiences been if you migrated? What are your fears if you're considering migrating? Let me read from you. Let me hear what you think. And if there's anything you also would like me to share, as far as this whole migrating thing is concerned, please definitely let me know down in the comment section. Okay, so this is a 3-part series, guys. On my next video, I want to share with you how I got my first white collar job, because like I said, I did not enjoy being in healthcare, and I did a few things to help me get a better job that did not require as much from me as being in healthcare required from me. So if you're interested in that video, please make sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and put on your notification bells so you know every time I drop a video like this one. Thank you all so much for watching to the very end, and I would see you on the next one. Bye, guys.